If you feel like you're wasting money on paid ads and you're just not seeing the results, not seeing the purchases come through, there's a good chance that the answer is not going to be in your ad account. What I want to talk about today is something that happens all too often. I hop on strategy calls with prospective clients or new folks coming to us, and the story is usually the same. They've been working with an agency, they feel like they're getting burned, the agency keeps asking them to spend more money, and at the end of the day, they're just not seeing the revenue numbers go up. They're not seeing results, they're spending more on ads, and they're not getting anything out of it. So oftentimes when we have this conversation, the first instinct is to open up, screen share. People will open up their ad interface and say, hey, Andy, take a look. What's going on here? Is there a configuration issue? Do I need more creative? Is there a problem with the way I have things set up in the ad account? And sometimes there's issues there. There's some tweaks we can make. But oftentimes the issue is outside of the ad account. There's a lot of key fundamental things that you've got to get right first before you set up your ads. So we have a checklist that we typically run people through on our strategy calls with them. And we'll walk through, it's really comprehensive, all these different points that we're looking for, some of the key things that can really sync your ads without you even knowing or understanding why. You'll look in the ad account and say, hey, just the results just aren't there. I'm running ads. I think I'm following all the best practices and it's just not working. A couple examples of that. One really key one comes from email, right? So great, paid ads are working well. You're getting folks to come to the site. You can have the best ads in the world. But if you're only getting one purchase and then ultimately the customer never purchases again, your results are going to be so much worse because you're paying the same to get that first purchase, and then you're not able to optimize and get customer lifetime value out of the folks that have made a purchase from you. So one of the big areas we look at are email flows, making sure that we're nurturing customers and staying in touch with them over the long haul so that we're building that customer lifetime value over a long period of time. Another big thing that we see oftentimes is technical data issues with passing the data back to the ad platform when somebody does execute a purchase. So the way this happens is when somebody makes a purchase, say Google or Meta sends somebody to your website, they're going to make a purchase hopefully, and then we're going to send that data back to Google or Meta and say, hey, this click that you got me, that person that saw my ad and then came over, they ultimately purchased something. And Google's going to use that, or Meta's going to use that to optimize your ads, make sure that they're sending the right people and they're understanding the types of people who are likely to buy from your site, and they're going to send you more of those types of people. So that's how the ads optimize over time. Ultimately, we get better performance. What we see all the time is that data is not properly flowing back into Google ads or Meta ads because there's a technical issue with the site. So there's a million different reasons why this could happen, but we call that signal going back to the ad platform to optimize the ad. So we want to make sure that we have your signals set up properly so that we're getting as much signal, as much data back in for your ads to optimize as possible. And then the last point that I want to hit on, the third most common thing, is a lack of clear goals and a lack of a clear system to measure whether we're achieving those goals and ultimately pivot and optimize, make changes. So a lot of times folks, they're just looking in general for revenue to rise. But then when we start to ask a few more questions and we start to dig in a little bit deeper, it's unclear how they would be measuring success or what exactly they were looking for from the ads in the first place. So are you looking to get more purchases on a particular product line? Are you looking to open up in a new geography? Are you looking to get more return customer purchases as opposed to new customer purchases, or vice versa? What is the real results that you're trying to drive with these ads? And that can be really important because oftentimes some of these different factors can come in where you may be getting revenue from your ads, you may be getting purchases coming in, but they may not be the purchases that matter the most to you. So for instance, if you have a product that's really low margin and you're selling a ton of revenue on that particular product, you may not have a profitable business going here, when in reality, if we had done the planning up front and kind of figured out which product lines in that case were going to be more profitable and we should be pushing with the ads, you'd have a little bit better success. And then the big piece of that too is making sure that you're understanding how you're performing against those goals and making changes and pivoting. You need a good system in place where you're reviewing those every 2 weeks, every month, to make sure that you're holding your ads and your ad agency accountable and then moving as you need to. So these are just a few of the key points. we've got a massive checklist. There's a bunch of these little gotchas here and there and kind of sub values to look into. If you're interested in diving deeper and thinking through all those little pain points that are both inside or outside of your ad accounts and why you're not getting those ad results, let me know. I'm happy to forward that on to you. This checklist is something we're really proud of, and I'm excited to share it with y'all.